Did y'all rise up energetic this rising? Cause I know I did. Like usually on a full moon, I am feeling I'm sleepy. I did go to sleep last night tired. Usually I feel tired. Over the strong end, I did feel tired, but that's because my little TMI menses was coming on, so that it did make me feel a little groggy and tired. But last night I did go to sleep tired, but when I rose, I just felt like just ready to take on. Take on me, take on me. I just felt like just ready. And I guess it's the effect of that full moon and Aries, you know? And with us, being in Libra season and then, having the full moon in Aries, Libra and Aries are sister signs. You got Aries and you got Libra and Aries, and both cardinal signs, both signs of leadership, both signs of get to it, both passionate, driven signs. The two signs, they go about it a little differently. Whereas, Aries is more so of, you know, it's fiery energy, so it's a lot more bolder. But Libra is air energy. So it goes for it, but not as boldly, not as strong as Aries does. Not saying, Libra is like a weaker sign. It's not. But I'm saying it has more of a balance to it. This is the sign of Venus, so it has more, of a softness to it versus as bold as Aries, being a fire sign and ruled by Mars. And y'all, so of course we know last month we were celebrating Virgo season, and Virgo is the sixth house. So Virgo is the sixth house, which has to do with past and also with health. And also Virgo is introspection. So a lot of us, we were deep in doing some inner healing during Virgo season. I hope we were looking at our shadow self. That's what last month was about. And with Virgo being the ninth month, September being the ninth month, we dealt with a lot of completion, of closing and ending cycles. And, you know, I heard Sister Myra speak about how the first six energies of the zodiac are like the physical energies, and Virgo is the last physical type energy, and then the last six zodiacs are the spiritual energies of the zodiac. And that made a lot of sense. Last month was a time for us to, like I was just saying, keep it real with ourselves, keep that shit infinity with yourself. And to close out anything that needed to be closed out, because now we're in the seventh house, which is Libra. And the seventh house also has to do with intuition. It's Pisces, Neptunian energy as well. So by going through that sixth house, by going through Virgo's energy last month, by letting those things go, letting the things go that, no longer serves us, now we're entering the seventh house, Libra, liberation, intuition online, spiritual completion. And this is some beautiful energy. This is some really beautiful energy. And you know, a lot of you, like I know for myself, but a lot of you may have been experiencing your gifts and things coming online, like your intuition, your foresight. You know, you notice that, huh? Well, it's not a coincidence, because by you going and working through those past things, those things that came up last month with that sixth energy, with Virgo's energy, you are able to release, you are able to make room for your spiritual awakening, for your spiritual ascension. And with Libra being a cardinal sign, which is a sign that gets shit popping, get that shit started. Let's get it started. Y'all gonna have to mind me. But yes, but with Libra being cardinal energy, leadership energy, and also with having this full moon in Aries, which is also cardinal leadership, fire, you know, and it's on a moon day. It's just emphasizing a lot of energy, It's on a moon day. We having a full moon on a moon day. On a sixth day. And this is pushing me to step into our leadership, to step into the know, to step into I know who I am, to step into your confidence. And last month was so important because it helped us to see where we lacked, where we fell short. And it helped us to work on some things. Because, yeah, we see a lot of leaders, so-called quote-unquote leaders, but they're not leading in the right, healthy way. They're not leading with love, care, understanding, and confidence of who they truly are. But what's so beautiful about Libra's energy is that it's also leadership, but it's also harmony, and it's also balance. And because you have been actively healing, you're stepping into that kind of leadership, the truest form of leadership, which is not just operating out of ego, not operating out of power and hunger driven, but harmony, love, peace. Now, don't get me wrong. People, yes, Libra is all of those things, but what do you think? Like, one thing about Libra, I always say, Libra is justice as well. And sometimes you have to bring justice to get peace, That's why a lot of y'all Libras be ready to... But it's a balance between it, Libra is emphasizing to keep the balance of spirituality and this physical world. Keep the balance between the two. Bring it, because this is where we are. We're here on this earthly plane. It's not a coincidence that last month was Virgo season, which is like earth energy, 5 energy. 5 energy is about the material, the materialism, the wanting of things, the the overly indulgence of things, but letting all of that go in Virgo season and bringing it into Libra season to create the balance between the physical and the spiritual. Besides that, embody who you are. Embody who you are. And I say that with so much seriousness. And I say that with so much seriousness to me too. Don't worry about if you woo woo. If people think you woo woo, think you weird. Especially for my spiritual ones. Embody who you are. Walk in that power of who you are. As my abilities, my gifts are starting to really come online, and it's like, it is what it is, and I cannot question it. If that's what it is, no, that's what it is. Embody who you are. Know it. Don't let nobody come and tell you anything differently. You stand firm in it. Because you're going to have people that's going to have something that's, opposite of what you're saying. And honestly, keep it to you. Keep it between you and source and your people. But just embody it. The more you embrace it, the more you're going to fall into it. The more you and your gifts are going to really, y'all going to have you create like a bond with each other. But embody who you are. And it's never, I just feel like I have to say this because I see a lot of like people, like, I guess like teachers in a spiritual community. I'm kind of like, don't even like really using that word anymore, like spiritual community, because it's like I see a lot of things within, I'm starting to see a lot of things within the spiritual community just within itself. So it's like, I don't know what to call it, but, people that are into like their spirituality. Don't let people tell you that, oh, you only have this time to heal. This is the perfect day. This is the only day. After this, that's it. No. Everyone healing is different. Everyone's shifts are different. It's not going to happen all at the same time. You move to the beat of your drum. As long as you know you're actively healing, you working on your shadow self, because this spirituality and tapping into your higher self, there's no way that you can skip shadow work. There's no way you can do it. And some people's shadow work take longer than others. You know what I mean? But as long as you know you are working on your shadow self and you know you are actively healing, just do that. You're going to ascend on your timeline, in your own time. Because we all are having a different experience. We all are on different soul levels. And it's not to say where I am, you should be. So I just want you to know. Move to the beat of your own drum. Keep actively healing. And keep focusing on that shadow work. And another thing is, we're all leaders in our own way. Whether you're a leader of your household, a leader of your classroom, a leader of the cafeteria that you work in, a leader of yourself and your responsibilities, we're all leaders, okay? And this is what this month is here to tell us. Libra. Liberate. Liberate. This is the first sign. First, the seventh house. We done exited out of the physical. Now we stepping into the spiritual. Let's bring them together and let's balance them. And this month, the theme of this month is what? Halloween. This is the month of the veil being lifted, where you can really have that communication with your spiritual guides, your spiritual family, your angels, your ancestors. The first month of spiritual, like I said, we stepped out of the physical, now we in the spiritual. Alright, y'all. It's your girl, Dime Aki. I'm here. I hope you here. Peace and blessings.